Okay, where should we start? Let's start with, where should we start? What do you want to see? Which one, sorry? Oh, this one here, random word. Okay, so random word, we're going to read from our dictionary. Our dictionary was defined up here, the word file. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the word list. This is very similar to what we did before when we found the longest word in the dictionary. Here we're going to take the word list and we're going to choose a random word. So how are we going to do that? Well, what we need to do is we need to generate a random number which is somewhere in the range of between the first word and the last word, and then choose that element of the list. So if we can generate a number between 0 and the length of the word file roughly, and then grab the element which is in the word file at that position, then we've done our job. So what is the word file? Well, the word list is just a single string. We need to turn that into a sequence of words. So we can do that with the function words from the word list. That's fine. So this is the thing that we want to work with. Now, we maybe can give this a name, but this is not an I/O thing. This is not an I/O thing. So if we want to give this a name, we have to use a let. So this is a let in a do. We say let the words equals what we get by applying the words function to the word list. So this is a pure computation. It doesn't involve any I/O. That's why it uses a let and an equals and not one of these things. Okay. So what are we going to do with our word list? Well, we need to randomly pick a word. Okay, so we need some random stuff. Okay, so where might we find some random stuff? Well, let's have a look at Google, see what Google says. Let's get right lucky with a bit of random. There's a system.random collection, which is quite nice. And what we're going to use from that is a bunch of random stuff down here involving I/O. This is the guy that we're going to use. So this is a class of things that can be randomly generated, but we're just going to use numbers. You give it a range as its argument, and it will generate a random thing in that range. How does it actually do it? Well, the runtime system has a random generator built in. So this is this is using the built-in random generator that is inside the I/O, and using that to generate a random value. That random value, notice, is always wrapped with I/O, because the only way we can get a random value is to interact with the runtime system. We're interacting with the outside world to get a random value. Otherwise, we get the same value every time. We've got a pure function. It cannot be a pure function. So this is the guy we're going to use, RAO. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a number from this RAO with range, and it's going to be in the range roughly 1 to length of the word list. Sorry, length of WS. And then what we need to do is we need to take this word list and choose the nth element of the list. Okay? How do we do that? How do we choose the nth element of a list? Good question. We can ask Google. If we have an int and we have a list of A's and we want the 8th element, we're going to expect something of that type. What might have that type? Well, actually the first hit is the one that we want. It's the list index operator. It's an operator which gives us the element at that list starting from 0. So let me Control C this guy down here. If we want to have the list from 1 to 10 and we take the 9th element, that's the number 10. So we take the 0th element. The first element is number 2. We take the 10th element, we'll get an error. So what we want to do is to generate actually something in the range 0 to length minus 1. That's our... What did I do then? Did I delete a bunch of stuff? Getting too enthusiastic. So what I want to return is the word from the word list, which is at the nth position. So there's random word. Yeah, that was a little bit... okay. Random... this random RIO, I need to import that, and that's from system.random, I believe it was. Is that right? No, something's gone wrong. Where are we? Couldn't match expected to IO char. Where am I? Oh yeah. I want to read file, word file, of course, to get something of type IO, not word file itself, which is a string. Okay, let me just see if I can actually get a random word. Consolidate. It's a nice random word. Another random word. Non-corrective. Lobberhood. Don't know that word. Okay, I was surprised last year when I did this that the words really can be quite scary. It turns out that it's actually a full web second edition dictionary that the Mac has in its word list. So it's a really monster word list. So it's pretty good for this game. If you like.
The longest word for the teacher.
Yeah, the longest word. Yeah. Okay. Any questions about that? Okay, so that involved doing some other I/O stuff. Wasn't central to this course, but that was the simplest way we could generate a number in the appropriate range in order to pick a random value from the list.